manufacturing, technology, hot topics, and a little bit of tomfoolery. This is the MTD Podcast.
There you go, MTD Podcast, episode 17. The dream team are here. Fortunately, the other idiots aren't. So there's no Joe, there's no Mark, and definitely no Paul. So it is myself, Colin Griffiths. Oh no, that's the wrong button. We've already failed on that. So there you go. And as you can see, as you can hear in the corner, chuckling away, our friend Gio Albanese. Is that how it's pronounced?
It is, Colin. Good afternoon.
And on the buttons, the laughter buttons, the clapping buttons, is tomfoolery because he doesn't add much input apart from that, and he gets it wrong. So Gio, what are we going to talk about today? I'll let you guess.
Your retro top.
Retro. Makes it sound quite fashionable. This is an old MTD top, which I got out of the back of the cupboard. I thought, change it up, Throwback Thursday, or I've got no clean shirts. That's what it is. But you're looking very dapper as usual in your MTD shirt. Anyway, what we're going to talk about, Gio? Come on.
Today we're going to discuss the MTD network and the importance of it. Now, Colin, I want to start with, really, we've got many topics, but I really want to start with, you're the founder of the MTD network.
That makes me sound vaguely important, Gio. Thank you.
It does sound quite important, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And you're quite antiquated, and you've been going a long time.
Not really happy about that, mate. Antiquated. Goes with my retro top. Anyway, yes, what about the network?
So, really, let's start, why did you start it and what was your vision for it? And what are the topics that we're going to be discussing about the network? There are lots of elements of the network.
I could talk to you for hours about the network, Joe, but the initial vision was Paul, Joe, they've set up Paul set up MTDCNC, and it's great for machine tool companies, software and engineers to see what's going on in the market. But was there anywhere that MTD, can I say that? No, engineers actually showcase what they do.
Yeah.
No, there isn't. That's what my vision was. So engineers, they've got their head stuck in the machine. They're making some fantastic components. Really, highly skilled. They're really, really highly skilled people. But they don't want to be out marketing and promoting what they do. They just want to get on and make these components. So MTD Network is a way of showcasing really what these engineers can do. Really, how great UK manufacturing is.
You're really illustrating, what's going on in the country. We are travelling the breadth of the UK and visiting the length, and we're visiting them. We are getting real life input. So, what does it do for the end users? It's great showcasing what they do, but what do they get from it?
Oh, bloody hell, Joe, that's put me on the spot. No. Again, it's showcasing what they do. So buyers out there, people out there who want components manufactured, whether it's a new component as a one-off or thousands off, they can go to the MTD network and they see what other engineers have been manufacturing, but they can also get quotes on there as well. So it's it gives them an easy way of finding quality engineers. As simple as that.
It's not all about the RFQs. No. There's so many different elements of the network.
Absolutely,
and it's so versatile, if you like. It suits different types of companies.
Well, I think there's sort of three areas. So the RFQs, the inquiries. Yeah, when we bring engineers on board, we want some inquiries. You're going to get inquiries. Absolutely, that is part of what we do. But it's not just about the inquiries. But I'll cover off the inquiries very quickly. Because if you're a buyer out there, for example, I need a new part, or I want to freshen up some quotes because there's technology moving on and you can get sort of better quotes or better quality, rather than making 10 phone calls or 10 emails or whatever it is, they can just go onto the MTD network, press one button, a couple of bits of information, and they can get 5, 10, 15 competitive quotes from really, really high quality engineers. So keeping it simple for the buyers and anybody who needs anything manufactured. So that's the first point, cool. But also, actually, I'm going to keep going on this. You got me on a roll now, Gio. So what we also find is that not only do people go to the site and submit inquiries, they'll see stuff that engineers have done, like the videos or pictures and things like that, and they'll say, actually, I like what they've done there, and they'll contact them direct. So that's another great way.
Well, I absolutely love it because not only are you promoting these companies, I believe it's very educational as well. So people can see what are the capabilities and different processes, in which there's so many different ways to skin a cat in regards to component manufacture. And you are illustrating a lot of them. Now,
that's a great, I'm going to cut in there, Gia. Sorry, back up here, my friend.
Okay.
But a great example was High-Tech. Well, we mentioned High-Tech regularly. They're masters of EDM, but they were showcasing how a component was made, which was slightly different because they were wire cutting it to save a lot of wastage rather than having all your swarf and things like that. So it's just another way of looking at different things.
And I think not only, educational for our audience, hopefully, but it's also an educational journey for ourselves. You know, no engineer in the world knows everything, and we're seeing so many different processes. It's absolutely fantastic.
I tell you what, if you said to me, what's EDM 4 years ago, I said to Paul, actually, who's been in the industry, he says 30 years, but he's got to be at least 50 years he's been in the industry.
At least.
Absolutely. But I said to him ages ago, Paul, EDM, what is it? And he sort of went, well, it's like, you know, it's sparks, isn't it, really? And he said it, because he didn't really know. So I made a bit of investigation. Electrical discharge machining, fast hole drilling, I'm saying it quickly, wire erosion and sink, where the spark is used to erode the metal. So we've done some educational videos and learned more, like I say, we're learning more about it. So people who have been in the industry for absolute ages still don't know everything. It's just every day we're learning something new.
Absolutely. And what I love about it, I'm loving a lot of things about the network, but what I'm loving about it as well, whilst
I'm Kevin Keegan, you love it, love it, love it.
Whilst I'm on the road, you know.
Thanks, Tom, for that.
We deal with the CNC channel as well, obviously, and that's for people that are selling equipment. But we're actually then going to the network customers and seeing how that equipment is used. So we're seeing it from both different aspects.
Yep.
Now, moving on to why would you use it and how it would benefit you. You know, I can give you an example.
I thought you were asking me a question.
Well, okay, I'll ask you a question then, Colin.
Now, you give me your example first, Gio.
Give me an example. I'll give you an example of a company that, Kale & Co. Give us the example there where they didn't want RFQs, did they, Colin? But they wanted to join the network to promote themselves. And what good results did that get?
I'll tell you what, he sent us a testimonial email, which I'm not sure if you wrote it or he wrote it, because it was so glowing. No, it's brilliant. Because those videos, because they're on the website, on our YouTube channel, they could be seen around the world. And he had prospective customers in the USA, if I'm correct me if I'm wrong there, correct, yeah. And he said they've used those to showcase what they can do in their machine shop. So it just helped sell the company.
I mean, how Steve Patterson explained it was that, you know, through the promotion of his company, a huge US company had seen these videos. Yep. So when they were in communications over Skype, before they had you know, paid for the tickets to go to America, the Americans felt like they knew about the company, felt like they knew Steve, felt like they could see the capability. So this is...
And they watched the video a few times so they could get to understand his accent as well.
Absolutely. I think it's a prime example of what it's all about. And also we want you know, inquiries to go directly to the end user rather than come through us.
Well, no, we want to mix of both.
Yeah.
I've got a great example there is because Brown and Holmes, who you look after on the MTDCNC channel, because they sell a lot of things. Well, tell me what they sell in terms of rotary tables, robot arms.
Brown and Holmes are work holding specialists, so they've got a lot of standard product range. However, they've also got bespoke product range, which they design and manufacture.
Enough of that.
But they've also started to get into robotics, automation, and filtration. So from pretty much every aspect of the engineering, you know, and they're also subcontractors as well.
That's the thing, they're subcontractors as well, so they've got loads of things going on. But we did a video for them on one of their grinders. Now, this grinder was about 30 years old from memory, but because it had such a great, huge envelope, we did the video and he got about 4 inquiries just from seeing that video. So it was absolutely brilliant, perfect.
Absolutely brilliant. And we touched on elements of the network. So we've touched on RFQs. We've touched on that we can create a company video for our clients, whether that be a machine review, capability reviews, whether that be
just an overview of the company, just an overview. You know, tell me,
absolutely,
because you can look at a website and read it, and you know what, it's great. But first point of call, but actually seeing the machine shop, seeing the guys involved, and seeing what they can do on a video, like a 5-minute video, it's so much easier and so much more engaging. It really is.
Absolutely. So we've got RFQs, company videos, bespoke email campaigns, telemarketing, social media management. Now, you know, some people haven't got the time to look after their social media, have they, Colin?
Well, that's key. I think that's another key point because, you know, your smaller companies, say, you know, three machines, 4 machines, or a new startup even, you don't have the money or the time to be doing loads of marketing and things like that. Absolutely not. And do you want to employ someone for, I don't know, 30 grand a year? No, you don't. You can't afford to. So what we do, we take the pain out of doing that, and we've got such a huge audience. So we'll put them on the website. We have a weekly email that goes to about 20,000 contacts across the UK. So we can get those people seeing what they're doing, what they're manufacturing, what they're up to. And it just takes up, that's what we do. And it'll go out on LinkedIn, on Twitter. We've got thousands and thousands of contacts. So you're not going to get a bigger audience, a bigger reach by doing it yourself. So that's if you're a smaller company. But on the other side of things, you might be a big company. I think you mentioned Bromford Industries, for example. They might have someone who's doing marketing, but we can work closely with them as well because, again, they've got the expertise on their side of things, absolutely. But we've got we've got the expertise as well, obviously. But we've got the audience, the reach, the name in the market. So it works really well.
I mean, you've just mentioned Bromford Industries. We were there this week and we interviewed the Vice President of New Business Development, Alan Dunbar. And we had a really good chat about social media. Now, they are really proactive. Yep. They are promoting themselves with Liliana so on social media. And the reason they're doing that is, one, is exactly what you've just said, to showcase their capabilities, to showcase what they do, to tell people how good they are, but ultimately to attract the best young talent to come and work for them. Because, you know, how many times do we hear it, Colin, that, you know, if I had a skilled person, I'd buy another machine. You know, skilled people are hard to find.
Skills gap, isn't it? Absolutely.
Or training gap, one of the two.
Well, I think training is coming through and there's a lot more focus on training now, absolutely. But in the meantime, there's a massive shortage of engineers in the market. But we're not talking about that, are we, Joe?
No, absolutely not. But it's a perfect example. And in my opinion, you know, I could be wrong. I don't believe that there are enough end user companies promoting themselves enough. You know, why wouldn't you promote yourself, Colin?
It's so easy to, I mean, not that I understand what we do. It is relative. I mean, we've got the skills, but it's easy to do. So you can go on Twitter, you can go on LinkedIn, Facebook, on the website, in emails. It's a 5-minute job, but you get a picture of a fantastic component. Someone sees that and they're like, blimey, that's amazing. You know, what they've done there. Get on the phone, email them, whatever it is. It's just so engaging. And these days as well, people still love magazines, hence we've got the MTD magazine, of course. But you sit at home, you got your girlfriend next to you, or boyfriend in your case, possibly Geo. Obviously joking there. All right, we'll let that one go. Sorry, mate. Sorry to your fine partner and kids as well, Geo. But, you know, you're on your phone, you're looking at LinkedIn, you know, you've got your tablet there, so you're scrolling through it and have a quick look rather than, you know, watching the TV. Who likes Coronation Street anyway?
But again, you know, so if you're an end user, why wouldn't you promote yourself?
You have to.
But there's some people that are not. So why would it?
Some of them, you know what? Some of them are very lucky; they don't have to promote themselves, and fine, let that continue. That's fantastic for them. But a lot of them, you need to get your name out to the market, absolutely, because you know you might be having great times at the moment, and UK manufacturing is really, really buoyant. We won't mention the B word, whatever that is, but there will be times when it does slow down a bit. So you need to be marketing. You need to be getting your name out there. It doesn't take lots of effort. You know, it's 5-10 minutes a week, if that for you. Very, very simple to do. But you need to keep people fresh in their minds.
I think it's the future, isn't it, Colin? I mean, you know, you certainly are, and I am a little bit getting on a bit, you know. And
hold on, mate, hold on. I'm going to have to reach across that table. We're going to have a bit of a tussle here, I think, mate.
The young generation, you know, they are on YouTube, they live on YouTube, they live on social media, they live on all these platforms. Now, you know, if we want to attract the younger generation into engineering, into manufacturing, that is where they're going to be finding the content that we produce. And it's absolutely essential. It's okay to think and to maybe be a little bit complacent and think, okay, we're doing okay at the minute. We've got work. We don't need to promote ourselves. But exactly the point you've made, things can change and inevitably they will change.
So it's a constant, you know, we want to keep regular fresh content all the time, but like I say, who's seeing that? So it is going out on your Twitter. We've got thousands of followers there. On your LinkedIn, we've got again thousands of connections there across the group, and our email database, I'd say, is second to none in the UK for engineers.
Absolutely, and engineering is at the forefront of technology. It is absolutely, the jobs that you can get from engineering are some of the best in the world.
Well, you mentioned earlier about, you know, in Germany and France and things like that. The engineers are seen as, you know, on a par with doctors and things like that because of their experience, their skills, and how long it's taken to get trained to the level there are. But over here, you know.
So do you think through the work that we're doing that we're educating people, and maybe people that maybe didn't consider engineering as a future for them or a career for them, maybe, you know, by seeing what we're doing and by us going into some of these engineering companies, it may attract people to get into engineering that maybe otherwise wouldn't have even thought about it?
Well, if they've seen any of Joe's videos, then probably not. They'll probably put them off. But if they've seen yours or mine, Gio, and Paul's and Mark's, I suppose, I think that would definitely encourage people to join engineering.
Joe's videos are very good too.
All right. And you know I was only joking, Gio.
Now, developing your website. Now, your website is only as good as the traffic it gets.
Ooh,
so we can...
That's a big statement, Gio.
Well, it is, isn't it? You know, if you develop a website and no one goes to the website, well, what's the point of it? You pay... So, you know, we can develop website and we can also do search engine optimization. Can you explain what this means?
Essentially, getting... Someone Googles engineer or engineering, I don't know, Bedford, your name comes to the top of the list. It's as simple as that. It's a very, very dark art and you need to be on it all the time. And getting a website? What's a website? I don't know, mate. But getting that website right is, you know, people, that's the first thing they see. And if they see a rubbish website, you're thinking, well, what's the work going to be like? So you've got to be on top of it all the time.
But people, what the point I'm trying to make is, Colin, it's no good spending. No, I don't. No.
I'll get me retro shirt.
But it's no good spending thousands and thousands on a website. But the only people that are going to visit you on that website are people that know about you.
Yeah.
How do you attract people that don't know about you to get to that website?
Well, like you say, the SEO, and I'm not a master of that at all, but we've got people who can do that and get you up the listing. So people search for an engineer, whatever it might be, you'll be at the top of that list. But it's also about the other stuff we've mentioned. Exactly. I don't want to keep going on about it, but your Twitter, your Facebook, your LinkedIn, and getting those contacts and relevant contacts as well.
No, absolutely. I mean, we've got some great companies on the network, and that brings us on to the capabilities and the special kind of processes that each individual company has, and how they can use each other's capabilities and kind of passwork between themselves as well.
I don't do a list of companies, but I mean, if you go to the MTD Network website, you can search for engineers in different counties, in different markets, and different skill sets. So just quickly, you've got your milling, your turning, which everybody will, we assume everybody will know about, but a buyer may not know whether a part needs to be manufactured via milling, via turning, or mill turn, whatever it might be. You've got your EDM, your electrical discharge machine, honing, like Honal down in Leighton Buzzard. So Andrew's getting a plug there. I know she'll like that. But gear cutting, that's very specialist. So people like Beard and Fitch, if you on drives, even Part Line up, they've got some cracking old Sunderland machines, 100 odd years old.
Now we are more than happy to go and visit any companies across the whole of the UK.
There's a few we're barred from, Gio, but
there's a few. But
that was your fault, and I've got the video to prove it.
When was that?
I'm joking.
But you know, if anyone wants us to go and pay them a visit, you know, how should they get in touch with you, Colin?
It's simple. Just go to the website mtd.network, and on the front there, you've got two options. You've got red button and your blue button. Red button is if you want to quote, and blue button if you want to join the network. It's simple as it. Nice. You've got to keep it simple, otherwise people aren't going to be interested, are they?
We really want people's feedback on this subject because it is important. It is the future. It is the way in which the future is going. You know, we've got to move with the times, and everyone has got to move with the times as well. So, you know, not just from an engineering perspective, but from a UK engineering perspective, we do some fantastic work out there, and it's brilliant that we can see what our engineers are doing through the network. Yeah,
absolutely. And we again come back to the fact they don't shout about it enough. We're here to shout about it for them, and you know, we do some great videos. You know, you got your laser machines, or your 3D printers, or your 5-axis machines, or your mill turn machines, whatever it might be, and just showcasing what they can do. The new technology.
You've just got me off on there. We visited a company last week, Colin, called Bowman Additive Production.
What do they do?
3D printing.
There you go. That was it.
But this was a company that really blew me away. So basically, we've seen 3D printing has been around for some time now, and we've been into many companies that have got a 3D printer.
Moving on leaps and bounds, though, isn't it?
Absolutely, Colin. Most 3D companies that I've been to are still using their 3D printers for prototyping. Now, we went into this company, and they're actually using their 3D printers for production. So with the HP printers that they've invested a lot of money into, they have actually redesigned a bearing housing body and an end thrust. So now they're getting 1,000% more longevity, I believe, than any other bearing.
Even because first of all, I didn't know you could do 3D printing in terms of production because it's not fast enough. So obviously that's I've learned something there straight away. Yeah. But also having a bearing housing, I wouldn't have thought that. Again, obviously I'm wrong, but you know, bearings are going to be under some pressure, aren't they? So having that strength in that 3D printing,
it's phenomenal. So basically, how bearing housings were manufactured in the past were down to the capabilities and that were available at that given time. So 3D printing wasn't available at that given time. So Bowman have looked at this, re-engineered this. They are bearing specialists anyway. Now, by being able to print the housing body, they can incorporate more roller bearings around the diameter. So that will give you greater longevity. But also the end plate for end thrust, again, it's exactly the same. You would not be able to machine these housing bodies. It's impossible to machine them.
Even some of your skills, Gio?
No, because some of the internal features you see, Colin, it's impossible.
3D print it.
And a great point that he made was... And I really liked it. The more complicated the part, the easier it is on a 3D printer. All you've got to do is press go.
Oh, you make it sound simple. But also another interesting point, well, I think it might be interesting, if a buyer's right there, they don't know how, they say, I want this manufactured, but they don't actually know how to manufacture it. And the engineers can come in and say, well, actually, you need to change it slightly and do this and that. So, bit of a tangent there, I know. Yeah. So what else? I think just a couple of quick examples of, people who use MTD Network. So, you've mentioned Colin & Co. Wilbar, he told me they don't advertise. It's been going years. Our friend Gareth, but they
Ferocity are a good company, which young company of the year. They won not too long ago, and now they've just moved into a 20,000 square foot brand new purpose built facility and bought new machines.
Two new Mazaks delivered. If I could say delivered a week or two ago.
Absolutely flying. Absolutely flying.
What about MJ Allen, our friend Tim? Well, fantastic group of companies there, but they've got some huge machines, a foundry. He said to us, we don't advertise, but we do use MTD Network, so it's great.
But that leads me on really. It really illustrates that we deal with small companies, startup companies. We help them, but also multi-million £1 companies.
It's a great mix. So you say startups, I do need to give them a little bit of a plug. So ProSpeed Precision, if I could say that. Our friend Ben, Conrad Nurch, Nurch Precision, surprisingly enough, and Ace Precision, Phil Kinch over in Wales. He's got a nice 5-axis Hermline. We've got a picture of that with a 600 kilo billet on it. So no, it would take up to 600 kilo. He couldn't lift it. It was only 300 kilos. But anyway, I might be wrong on that. So
this has been an absolute pleasure and an education.
Gio, I can understand it has been an absolute pleasure for you. Never in doubt. Now, anything else? I know if anybody's got any ideas out there about what we can talk about for our next podcast, please rate the show, review the show, subscribe to us, and let us know your thoughts. That'd be absolutely fantastic.
And also, if you're an end user,
I was ending it there, Joe, and you just
one more thing. No, sincere apologies. If you're an end user listening to this show and you like what you've heard and you want to join the network, give us a call.
Well, or just hit the button on the website. Nice and simple. Like Gio, it's been an absolute pleasure for you, as I said, and Tom Foolery, he's been absolutely rubbish as usual.
A bit quiet today.
I know, yeah. Well, not as quiet as Paul and Joe and Mark, thank the Lord. Anyway, Gio, been a pleasure.
That's it. Thank you.